Good morning. My name is Mark Bryan. This is a presentation for CIS 570 Business Intelligence class taught by Dr. Hogsmeyer. My project today is on Allstate, and we'll cover how they utilize analytics and business intelligence to improve their business. Start off just with some history and facts. Allstate is the second largest publicly traded insurance company in America. While they are overall number 9 on the total insurance list, as far as publicly traded, they are number 2. Allstate was formed in 1931. It is the insurance arm, or as the insurance arm of Sears Roebuck, and it operated that way until 1993 when it was spun out of Sears. Now, recently, Sears declared for bankruptcy and started closing a lot of stores, but all of that kind of started back in 1993, and that's when Allstate broke out and kind of went its own way. While Sears tried to make their business decisions based off of 20th century concepts, they were still stuck in that time frame while making decisions in a 21st century business market. They suffered a serious financial demise. Allstate, however, focused on the future and continued to move forward and adapted to that landscape rather well. So what separated Allstate from Sears? Allstate embraced change at the time and understood that the insurance playing field was changing, and if they desired and needed to be relevant, then they needed to change with that time. To support this change, one of the first things they did was understood that there were some things that they just did not know, and analytics was a big part of it. They had tons of data, but didn't know how to manipulate that data in the current landscape. So they went out and hired a chief data and analytics officer to help drive the company to support what they needed, their business goals, and get them moving in the right direction. The business fully accepted this person, brought him in, and turned to analytics to drive the transformation. So some of the things shaping their upcoming direction. Number one, they knew they needed to change the way they think. One of the first surveys that provided this insight supporting Allstate needed to move in this direction identified that it was insurance companies not understanding what the customers wanted that drove the customers away. Before insurance companies thought this, they thought it was price that turned customers away ultimately, the cost of their premiums. But it wasn't. It was actually the customer or the insurance company not being able to understand what the customer wanted or provide them what they wanted. So once they discovered this, this ultimately drove Allstate to now be able to provide massive individual customization of their product. So insurance policies can be tailored down to an individual with a specific price for what they're going to get. To help support the transformation, the company Allstate created the D3 organization. It stands for Data, Discovery, Decision Science. This team, which in recent years has grown to more than 300 people, works closely with each of the company's business units and functions. D3 is organized around data strategy, technology, and Allstate's Analytics Center of Excellence. They took an aggressive approach to utilizing data that has given them an edge when pricing. Through the Analytics Center of Excellence, one of the most critical functions they have is to educate the business community within Allstate on the power of analytics and how it can benefit their specific area. D3 works extremely close with the business functions in an attempt to identify opportunities to apply models to their business objectives and improve customer experiences with Allstate. To ensure everyone is on board, metrics and analytics is now part of Allstate's operating principles. Some of the specific ones that deal specifically with metrics is I challenge myself to use metrics and analytics to make informed decisions. I challenge myself to use consumer insights, data, technology, and people to better serve our customers and generate growth. I challenge in one of the subparagraphs, this access to data has a growing influence on decision making. We should know our customers' needs before they do. When big data is processed and analyzed, it allows us to make better, more informed decisions, discover valuable insights, and improve business outcomes. So how does Allstate collect data and what do they use it for? They collect it by any means possible, and they use it for everything. Uh, they use it for from claims handling to billing inquiries, agent interactions, technical help desk that the employees call when their desktop computer doesn't work. Allstate collects all that mounds of text, free-form text, voice data, uh, click streams to devise insights or derive insights that inform business decisions. Taking this a step further, Allstate is continuing to develop machine learning and natural language processing capabilities to use this data to deliver and enhance customer experience. Due to the time limitations of this product or project, we're going to be covering a few specific items that Allstate uses data analytics for. We're going to talk about Allstate DriveWise, a little bit about the Special Investigation Unit at Fraud Analysis, and how they utilize it to present usable dashboards. So Allstate DriveWise. Your car insurance premiums are based directly on how much of a risk an insurance company thinks you are when you're behind the wheel. Now this has underwent several changes throughout the years. They used to collect data just based on the number of people who had accidents, what their age was, what sex they were, and a lot of it was kind of based on that, right? Because we all know teenage boys, their rates are higher than teenage girls, just because they do have a little bit more of a risk associated with them when driving. Then there was a period where they actually started going off of credit scores. If you had a high credit score, your insurance rate was going to be a little bit lower. If you had a low credit score, your insurance rate was going to be higher. And it actually turned out to be fairly accurate when determining who was going to be in an accident over the course of the year. Maybe not specifically who, but from a specific group. And now, Allstate has taken it a step further, and Allstate has said, now I can collect real-time data and understand exactly what type of risk you are immediately. And I can use this tool to hopefully try and turn you into a better driver. So the DriveWise program was developed to help save money and monitor real-time risk while driving. DriveWise collects real-time data from over 820,000 people. The 820,000 people, that was as of 2016 when where I got this report from. So now it's a little over 1 million. I couldn't find an exact number, but it is more than 820,000. And it helps them stay safe on the road by providing personalized driving feedback. It can even help young drivers develop good driving habits to help keep them safe behind the wheel and lower the risk while they're learning how to drive. You can earn Allstate rewards points by completing safe driving challenges. Points are redeemable for savings on merchandise. You can use them for gift cards, local offers, and more. And the safer you drive, the more you can earn. DriveWise tracks your driving style via a mobile app and or a small device that's installed in your car that sends this data directly to Allstate. You can look at the data collected on Allstate's website, so you can analyze your own driving habits to look at problems, areas you have that may need improving, as well as see how much you're saving and potentially identify areas you need to correct. And Allstate has said this can potentially help you save up to 30% on your premiums. One thing Allstate did say is if you plan on trying to get the 30%, chances are that you're going to have to be the type of person that maybe just drives to the local grocery store and back home. They said the tendency that if you do commute a normal commute, the chances of you getting the full 30% are probably not great due to just being in rush hour. You're going to have some events that stand out in how the app tracks data. And we'll talk about some of those, about what it actually does track right now. So what it'll actually track in your trip is it's going to timestamp your trip. It's going to give you the time zone where your trip is, vehicle identification number, odometer, average speed while the vehicle is in motion, seconds driven in different speed bands. The speed bands are up to 10 miles an hour wide, miles driven in each time range. Each time range is 1 hour. Constant speed driven in speed bands, those 10 mile an hour speed bands again. Varying speed miles driven in speed bands. Seconds driven during deceleration, seconds driven during acceleration. Counts of occurrences of braking more than 10 seconds. Counts of occurrences of accelerating more than 10 seconds. Hard acceleration events. Hard braking events. Miles driven with small speed variation, miles driven with large speed variations. And it's going to do counts of those events as well. So if you have 5 hard braking events, it's going to keep a tally of how many you have over the course of time. And all that data is going to go into an algorithm that calculates and determines how much of those 30% of savings that you will actually earn. One big concern from personnel, though, is privacy. Some drivers also say they're reluctant to use DriveWise because they feel it violates their privacy. While it's not a GPS device, meaning it's not going to tell you specifically where you are, Allstate's DriveWise terms and conditions say that the data from the device may be deemed discoverable by third parties and used in an accident investigation and or litigation. So just because it may not tell you where you are, it may provide insight to how you drive and how risky you are in the court of law, which some people tend to not like the big brother effect. At the bottom of the slide there, just added a few things that you can do on there. It can tell you exactly how much savings you have. And if you want to redeem that cash, have your insurance card, you can make your payments, you can submit claims through the app, you can call for roadside assistance through the app if you're in a place with Wi-Fi or 5G or 4G. And then it can also talk about your different policies and your homes that you have on there. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about, fraud detection with the Special Investigation Unit. Allstate needed a team that could actually go through and edit or review the 1.5 billion records of unstructured data that they had in order to be able to detect out trends and see who they needed to investigate, or if anything needed to be investigated. So they developed a Special Investigation Unit team, and in 2010 that team adopted Tableau when existing solutions couldn't handle that data that they had to review. So with Tableau, the Special Investigation Unit consolidated many data sources into one view to analyze the full spectrum of claims information. Today, the unit detects out-of-pattern trends with a few clicks on Tableau, which was a process that previously involved months of reviewing hard data from individual data sources. The ability to spot outliers has sped off the handoff process to the investigators and shortens the claim cycle, so people are getting their money faster. Tableau gives Allstate the ability to merge over 50 multiple data sources that they have throughout the company coming in, and their multiple data sources like Hadoop and Oracle, and at the same time, the end user only has to know how to use Tableau. They don't have to understand how to use Hadoop, Oracle, or any one of the other 50 plus data sources that they have. If they understand how to utilize Tableau, they can go through, click, and understand, and some of those filters are down at the bottom. And you can see how it breaks down the data and allows them to drill down and look for any outliers. All right, standardizing communications across sales. Last one, this is the spreadsheets. Allstate has more than 10,000 agents. They have more than 250 field sales leaders. They have 40 different territory sales leaders and over 14 regional markets. So having access to the data displayed was a huge problem for them. And where the sales field ran into problems was knowing exactly what to do, because the original spreadsheet that come out had all the data for all of these agents, field sales leaders, different territories and regions, all in one spreadsheet. So the salespeople, or actually all the people, didn't know what to do because the amount of data was overwhelming. The sheer amount of data, insights, and end users provided analysts a near impossible task of supporting each other, and every individual user did not understand how their dashboards were set up and how they needed to be set up. It resulted in low use and low engagement with the dashboards, and therefore they were not effectively utilized to make data-driven decisions. So Allstate identified those 4 key problems. The main ones were data overload, misinterpretation, analysis paralysis, and lack of time. So what they come up with was Wordsmith for Tableau. Wordsmith for Tableau, with their current sales dashboard, data is an input to it, and it turned their data into a clear natural language. They now have personalized dashboards that support each agent, field sales leader, and territory sales leader, with a individualized analysis that provides tailored insight and action items. And they can work off of that. As you can see on the sample I have here, on the bottom left, where it talks about insights, it provides exactly about your team, not all sales or all regions at a whole, and requiring you to drill down through hard data. So, and it can call it out by name. You can see Tracy Rutherford and Lisa Langdon have seen their close rates fall by more than half a percentage point. May want to take a look at and figure out what's going on there. Yours close rates is doing good, finding discounts for 82% of quotes. Schedule some time to do some things, and it gives you some clear action items to go out and do, which really helps drive immediate things that you can go look at. So is Allstate taking this seriously? Absolutely. If you just do a quick Google search of business analytics jobs or big data jobs, this is kind of what I found on Google the other day. 64 business analytics jobs and 76 big data jobs that are open right now. Some examples of those were big data engineer, Hadoop administrator, big data engineer for unstructured data, data science consultants, cloud platform engineers, Hadoop developers, big data ETL developer, risk analytics, and it went on down the list through all levels, all the way down to intern levels if you're looking for a job right now to get your foot in the door and start working for Allstate, a company that has really embraced analytics. So this report to me was very eye-opening. I understood that insurance companies use analytics at all times to understand risk. What really opened my eyes was now, and taking this class, was how many channels now data can actually move in and out. So here they're collecting data, even just a special investigation unit. We know they're already using over 50 different channels of data coming in, and that's just with that. So Allstate, who also handles property insurance, now getting really heavy into commercial insurance. I'm sure that all that data is coming in many different streams, and they're going to continue to grow with the ways the data comes in. But with a team like the D3 organization, they can methodically bring it in and help work with an interface program. That's really what it seems like they're benefiting, to help their business unit be able to utilize all that data, working with Tableau, And if you dig online, there's even a few more ones that you'll see that they're linking up with. But these were the three that I kind of picked because they interested me pretty well and provided me some insight in there. So thank you for your time. Really enjoying it. And that is all I have to discuss about Allstate. Thank you.